Hi, I'm Randy Horton from Orthogonal. Welcome back to MedTech Spotlight Live. We're coming to you from the San Diego Convention Center for AdvaMed's MedTech Conference. You can't make it to every conference, and even if you do, you can't talk to every interesting person at every conference. So what we're doing here is curating a set of conversations with really interesting people who have good things to share with you at your office, or most likely today, your home office. So today we're here with Marissa Fayer from DeepLook Technology.
DeepLook Medical.
DeepLook Medical, excuse me. Okay,
Yeah.
So tell us about you and your background first, your professional background.
Yeah, so Marissa Fayer, I'm the CEO of DeepLook Medical, but I'm a 25-year MedTech exec. And I was in corporate for 15 years. I'm an engineer by background, fell into women's health and have never left in 21 years after that. And but I was on new product development, doing mergers and acquisitions for very large corporations, and then became a serial entrepreneur. So I started my own consulting firm, started a global nonprofit called Her Health EQ, and was taking a lot of executive roles and, higher and higher, in strategic importance. And I lived out of country for many years. And about 3 years ago, I became the CEO of DeepLook Medical. And here I am, and doing a lot of work on women's health. I sit on the Milken Institute's Women's Health Task Force, sit with the Gates Foundation on their Innovation Equity Forum Women's Health Task Force as well. Was part of the White House Women's Health Task Force. So all women's health all the time.
Okay.
And, but yeah, that's what I do. Come to a lot of conferences to spread the word of women's health. And I've delivered a TEDx and
Wow.
all out and about.
So 15 years, so you were an OG. Long before it
I'm
became
an OJ. Yeah, OG, yeah.
Okay, very good. So what was it, tell us about DeepLook, and what was it with all this experience and stuff you had that pulled you in to actually go full-time somewhere in-house?
Yeah,
CEO.
I just thought a technology that interfaces directly into clinical workflow that helps radiologists visualize soft tumor lesions. And most especially in dense tissue. And for us, that means dense breasts. So 45% of all women have dense breasts. And that means their standard mammography is not fully effective.
Mhm.
And radiologists have to send them for additional tests like an ultrasound, an MRI, CT, and then, maybe a biopsy. And that's just because they can't see. So if they had a technology that they can just use on their standard ultrasound and mammograms, then that'd be great. And so I just thought it made sense. It was what the market was also looking for. And I feel that it was just easy to integrate and have the radiologist starting to use it. There's so many technologies that are out there that you have to push and push and push and push and sell and all of these things, because it's not natural for them. It's not part of their workflow. And so I thought this was really an interesting way for them to have better results.
Very good. Okay, so let's step back. So you're not selling a mammography machine.
No, we are not.
You're selling a diagnostic algorithm that overlays on existing mammography machines. Is that accurate?
Yes. So it is an overlay. It's an algorithm. We're not making decision support, but it is, a diagnostic in nature. And so it integrates with either the PACS companies or other software technology companies or the hardware companies to integrate into their technology. We don't direct sell. We work with our partners to be able to distribute something else, something else that they could utilize in their product.
Okay. So if I'm a radiologist who specializes in breast imaging and I've got my queue, right, and I pull up the next study, how do I interface with your technology? What am I looking at? Is there a report? Is it an overlay on the image itself? What are you giving me that's new and different?
Yeah, so it's on demand. So it's only when they want to see it. So when there's a region of interest that they're really not sure, there might be something here, then they can click. It's literally just click. There's no other platforms. They don't have to go anywhere else.
So it's embedded.
And so it's literally embedded into their workflow. And, they click a button and they activate it and it just shows up on their screen. So again, it is literally an overlay on top of their image. And they can choose to save it to a report. They can choose to dismiss it. They can, export it somewhere else if they want. That's up to them. It gives them some visual cues. And it also is a measurement and segmentation. If you can't see, you cannot segment. You cannot get an outer margin to do a real measurement. So we focus in mammography, but we're also in any other body area and any other modality as well. So it works really effectively on lung and liver and thyroid, all very dense tissue. We work across the spectrum. It's just some areas are not necessary because cancer shows up white and especially in mammograms and some other imaging. And, dense tissue is white. So it's hard to see the cotton ball in the cloud.
Yeah.
If it's, black background white, then you can obviously very easily see it. So that's where we help.
So basically that data is already in the image.
Correct.
It just isn't visible to the human eye. And you're sort of double click for a different view of the understanding of the data.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the information, the radiomics, the pixel data, it's all there. Through our algorithm, we are interpreting that information and data. We are not technically AI. So we're a straight algorithm, and that's the other thing. You're
a math formula.
We are literally are, and that's why it's actually a lot of the hospital systems are liking to integrate things like this and other technologies because there's no black box around it.
There's no drift.
Yes, there is no drift. There's no black box. There's no where does this information come from? And I think it's important for people to know where the data is coming from. We've been doing technology and algorithms for 25 years. Right. And that's understandable.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a math formula.
Yeah.
So who's your mathematician? Where did this technology come from, or the idea, and who developed it?
One of the founders developed it. We have then taken it and kind of redeveloped it internally, and we optimize it, and we continue to move that forward.
Got it. So talk to us about, you're on the image. Is there a larger data play? Is there machine learning in your future? I'm not going to ask about generative AI. I'm sure there's an agent somewhere out there, but I won't worry about that. For those of you who aren't here, you can't go 3 seconds without having
I think we went a whole
reference.
5 minutes without it.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, there's a metric I use, NTAIQ, mean time to AI question. Okay, so is there a larger data play longer term? I mean, you're seeing all this interesting stuff. What comes next, or theoretically, what could come next?
So at RSNA, the big radiology show, we'll be debuting our new product called Lesion Library, and that is an AI ML play for sure.
Okay.
So it's taking the images that are created by DL Precise and matching them to other potential known malignants or benigns in the system, and that's where the AI data starts to come in. Of course, there's data that's generated with the image as well. And so, also tracking over time and eventual longitudinal, studies and perspective and, what something could be growing to. That's, of course, in the future. But you need to build on a solid foundation, just like a house, so that it's not moving. AI is moving all over the place. You need a standard algorithm that is your base, and then you layer on top. And that's kind of the approach that we've decided to take. I don't know if it's just because I'm an engineer and I'm completely rational in thinking and just saying, instead of picking things out of thin air, but we made the decision to layer on a solid base so that we could continue to grow with confidence in the future.
Got it. So let's talk about data integration, because, 10 years ago, you say to people, integrating a medical device with an EHR is a total nightmare. It's gotten better.
Much.
It's gotten better. Yeah. There's third-party services. There's also, new requirements and standards. But imaging and PACS and DICOMs still are a royal pain. It's sort of the exception to the rule, as it has always been.
Yeah. So
how do you deal with that? Do you have to integrate directly every time a provider signs up? Do you have to plug into their PACS and go through all this stuff, or how do you?
Yeah, so we approach it at the higher level, at the PACS company.
Okay.
So with a Sectra, with a Philips, CareStream, with a Hologic SecureView, with GEs, we approach it at a higher level. So once you're in with the PACS company, every hospital, every client, et cetera, can just click and turn it on. It's just an easier approach. Of course, there needs to be push from the hospital systems that they want this. But we just found it's just much easier to be able to do it at a higher level. It's because it's a beast. We also do it with other software companies. Listen, they have the customers, they have the clients. We're a smaller company as well. And so it makes it easier also from us, from our overhead, to be able to manage that.
Right. So you don't have to deal with the hospital CISO.
I mean, we do, but a little less than, a 5-year integration of a brand new PACS vendor.
And has that gotten any better in the time you've been doing it? Or
I think it's from 5 to 2, maybe 1.5.
Okay.
So, it's not any less painful.
It's not.
It's not.
Okay.
It's really not. And, the other problem that's also with mammography is there's so many images. There's so many, and they're just larger and larger. And so it's just a lot of data. And that's one of the problems with imaging that you were saying.
How big is what's the range of size for a mammography study file? If you have to define.
Oh, I don't know, actually. Yeah,
But,
I don't know.
but the
But
resolution's going up?
resolution's incredible, and it looks better and better every year. And it also depends, like if you're doing a 2D versus a 3D. 4D is going to be coming out too. So what does that start to look like? What type of image are you doing? Is it a diagnostic? Is it just a regular screening? I mean, there's just so many variables. It's very large. What we do is we actually don't analyze the entire image. We're just looking at the small segment. So it cuts down on data.
And the physician's selecting that segment.
It's already, that whole area is already selected. So you just want to zoom into the one area and then you just click right there.
Okay.
And so for us, it actually makes it better. It's a light lift. I mean, we're not talking about gigabytes. We're talking about megabytes.
You're sending a piece of an image.
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, and we're not sending it anywhere.
Okay.
So that's the other point. It's live. It's live. It's happening on-prem as well. I mean, we could, of course, do cloud, and we are prepped for that. But most of the systems are not willing and wanting to do that yet. They're still very much on-prem focused.
Right. So if you're able to share, one of the interesting things about a technology like yours is you sort of go through every PACS from mammography, and presumably you deal with every mammography machine out there. How do you deal with that from a regulatory strategy point of view? Do you have to retest and prove on every single device? Do you do it as a section? How do you get comfortable for yourself that you apples to apples, and then how do you get regulators comfortable for apples to apples?
Yeah, so our technology is FDA cleared on our tech, and it doesn't matter. It's completely agnostic. We are agnostic on manufacturer, we're agnostic on platform, we're agnostic on modality, we're even agnostic on area. And so for us, it's an algorithm is an algorithm. To give us confidence that we can do something, that's called optimization, to make sure it looks the best, it's picking up the right thing. So we just do that internally, and obviously we have our internal metrics for obvious reasons, and validations and verifications of each area and each different modality, things like that. But we don't have to go for reclearance, which is kind of a benefit for us. And images are images. I mean, bitmaps are bitmaps. Sometimes it looks better. Something looks better on a Hologic versus a Fuji, or whatever it happens to be. There's just slight differences, but we're looking literally at the pixels. We're looking at the individual pixels. So, they could have hundreds, they could have thousands. That's just what we're looking at.
So from your point of view, the move from like 2D to 3D to 4D is just a density of image. It's not. It's not like a different type of image altogether.
Correct. Yeah, correct. I mean, 3D images. 3D is, which I developed and launched to be clear in mammography. I mean, 3D is just 2D images knitted together. 4D is going to be the same thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So what are you talking about at the conference?
So I am moderating the discussion on barriers and benefits to innovating in women's health. It's a really exciting topic because women's health is such a growing field, always has been, but it is a massively growing field. We're 51% of the population, and we do not have innovation specifically for women. And that's because there could be not women who are in the R&D teams, because when you think about when you're innovating for women's health, well, it'd be great if a man's not just doing that, doesn't have the lived experience, or understand, or has the human factor. So there's that. But we're also talking about regulatory. We're talking about reimbursements, and we're also talking about funding. I mean, disproportionately, there is no funding for women's health. Only 2% of all VC funding goes to women's health, and so we need to increase that. It's an opportunity zone. So that's what we're talking about today. It's exciting.
Got it. And would you say that's not just an opportunity for equity, it's an opportunity for capitalists to make money?
Yeah, I do not believe it's an equity. It's not a moral imperative. It's not something that's nice to have. This is an opportunity to make money, to do well, to have, things. You want to invest in areas that other people aren't, because that's the zone. That's the new zone for people to invest. That's your opportunity to do better than others. Well, that's what women's health is.
Very good. Well, thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
And we'll enjoy your conference.
Thank
Good luck with
you.
your session.
Thank you.